You know what time it is. Welcome back. A little treat for you guys. The gentleman's hour. And honestly, all of our topics lately have been like, emotional hitters. So this one, I don't know. This could go anyway. We're talking past relationships, broken hearts. The official title is Past Relationships, Broken Hearts, What We Learned. And I'm gonna leave you with this quote. Sometimes good things fall apart, so better things can fall together.
Subpar.
And that's from my girl, Marilyn Monroe, the
Nice.
first original hottie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean that's kind of like that's the attitude I feel like you have to take. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna break up, you have to like not take it as like, oh, heartbreak. I'm never gonna. You have to look at it as there was a reason for that, and it's because I'm not with the one I was supposed to be. Right?
I think that's the attitude you want. You should have. And sadly, it doesn't always happen that way.
Right.
But
100% doesn't. You're not thinking of that when you're going through it.
Yeah.
But all right, let's jump right into it. All right, let's jump right into it. So, like always, I got questions. I'll throw the questions out there, and we'll just take turns to answer them. You go first, I go first. Whatever. We'll answer these questions, and maybe we can help some of these young bucks that are up and comers. We both have young boys, so they're gonna, there's no way around having relationships, even if you're not heartbroken, that are gonna, end or whatever. And either way, that affects your life. So, hopefully, we help some guys or young kids, whatever. So first question, what's the pettiest reason you've ever broken up with someone or been broken up with? So this is probably something when you were like young, you know what I mean? But you go first, or I'll go, or you want me?
I'm not gonna give a timeline because I don't want to. You
don't want to out anybody?
Yeah, I don't want anybody to start doing break out the old calendars and start highlighting dates. But you know what I will say, there was a girl I was not serious, but I was kind of dating her, I guess. Didn't really meet the family, but kind of broke up with her. I broke up with her, or I kind of like dogged her, I guess. So I go hang out with another one.
Damn. So
Yeah,
did you already know? When you got with her, were you already eyeing somebody else, or did it just happen?
You know what?
Oh, damn, man, I'm with her, but damn, that other one looks good.
No, you know what it is she actually reached out to me, and I was like, well, and like I said, I wasn't serious. It wasn't like had been a couple weeks, but I mean, I don't know if we officially had a title, but I was kind of like, you know what, yeah, let's see what's up, and I kind of dissed her, like, hey, can't make it today. I gotta go wash my hair or something. Yeah, and I went, and I mean, I thought, now that I look back, I'm like, that's kind of messed up. And then
that's a dick. Why didn't you just tell her, like, hey, bro, I mean, hey, girl, I wanted it. I was feeling you. I am feeling you, but something else. I don't want to say better came along, but just something else I connect with came along. I got it. I gotta keep it moving.
For me, it's 100% immaturity. It was just me being immature, not being able to communicate, not being able to. It's kind of like you want to have your cake and eat it too. Like you want to keep all all the toys in the playpen, and you're like, I don't know if this one is gonna be serious. I don't even know if I can stand the new one, but let me go at least take her out.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, you look back and I'm like, dude, that's messed up. Like that's.
Hey, was the new one Laura?
Huh?
Was the new one?
No. This was
okay, all right. Oh, okay.
This was years before her. Yeah.
All right, I don't want her to have a guilty conscience. All right.
Well, if you don't have her, don't mention her name or don't.
Oh yeah. All right. Hey, and I did talk to Desiree about getting on her so we can do all four of us together. So she says she's gonna work on her. But for me,
Nice.
Okay, this goes back to 5th grade, and I was dating this chick, but it was like that was like nothing worked out. Nothing was good for me. Like I had to carry her books to class. I had to hang out with her at break. But like, what was I getting? This was when we were in 5th grade, so we weren't doing anything crazy. I don't even think we kiss. We hold hands, I think. So eventually I'm kind of like, hey, this is kind of a bum deal, bro. I got to take this chick's. I can barely carry my own books. I got to carry her books to class. I can't even hang out with my boys at lunch. They're playing like, crazy at whatever basketball or whatever games there were. I got to go hang out. Yeah, I'm over there holding hands like I'm on my honeymoon or something. Like this is the worst ever. So I told my buddies and I'm like, hey, bro, this sucks. I don't want to like. You guys are the one that talked me into this. You got to have a girlfriend, bro. You're already in 5th grade. If you don't have a girlfriend, it means you're gay. I'm like, wow, I don't want to be gay. Yeah, I'm like, nah. Actually, back then nobody even talked about gay or anything.
Yeah.
But so my buddies were like, you know what? Don't worry about it, bro. We'll go break up with her. So I had them go and break up with her. Yeah, break up with her at lunchtime. I remember I watched from like around the corner. I watched the whole time. And at the time, I was just like, oh, thank God, because I didn't want to have to do it. But then when I looked back later on, because that girl ended up going to high school with us, and she never talked to me again for the rest of. So that was in 6th grade, I think. So she didn't talk to me all the way 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, all the way through high school. Never talked to me. If I see her on the street right now, she'll probably act like she doesn't know me.
Run over you?
Probably. I wouldn't. And yeah, what's sad is I never really gave it a chance. Like who knows? That might have been the one.
Yeah, but nah, she was probably smothering you, bro.
Yeah, well, honestly, I don't even think she didn't even really talk to me. I think she got forced into being with me too. Like I don't think either one of us even wanted to be.
Relationship.
Yeah. I think our friends.
Chocolate milk exchange.
Yeah, it was like the friends of the friends were all together. So I think she just got talked into too. I don't even think she liked me, bro. But anyway, so that was my that was like petty, I guess. I would consider that petty or immature. Like I always felt like a dick. Even in high school, I would see her to be like, maybe I should go talk to her about like what went down, what I was thinking.
Just to break her heart again.
Clear the air, bro.
You know what? Wow. I forgot to mention this part that after the dust settled with my fiasco, like after the girls just cut me out, bro. I was just.
You lost both of them in the end?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, this is kind of addicting to say, but that's why you don't cut one off until you have the other one locked. Till you have the other one locked in.
Yeah, but see, like I said, it was immaturity, bro. I didn't know how to deal with it. I just thought they'll be around. Like you also, I think when I've been single, I have more of a. I kind of feel like, you know what? At a certain point, I hit a certain age, and I was like, you know what? If this works out, it works out. If not, then whatever. Like I wasn't too like willing to get attached. I was kind of like, oh,
right.
Like I think I kind of felt like, well, I'm not really like dogging her, but right. I think that night she ended up going out, and then she like met her like future like husband and shit. Because I think when I hit her up like a week later, she's like, "Nah, you know what? I'm kind of talking to this guy." Like she was more mature than I was.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I'm kind of talking to this guy now, and if you could just like lose my number." And I was like, you know
what? You brought up a good point where you said like you don't realize, like you said something about like you don't realize at the time, like you think you're kind of like. So that made me think of I had a relationship. I'm probably jumping ahead. This may be a little bit off topic, but I'm gonna just throw it out there. So freshman year, I started dating this chick, and she was I think she follows me on Facebook and Instagram. So let's hope she's gonna know who she is. But hey, we got to tell the truth, right? Like that's part of being a gentleman, right? The gentleman's hour. I don't even think we didn't even introduce it. This is the gentleman's hour. Part of the Beady Boys universe, the gentleman's hour. So anyway, freshman year I started dating her, and I met her through. I used to play on the Little League team with her brother. And so we played together. So he was like, "Hey, my sister says hi," and I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." Back then that's like the big like, "Oh hi." Anyways, we ended up hooking up. Like that's
the original BM.
I hope my mom isn't tuning in, but that was the first time. Or my kids. Hey, if any of you guys are tuned in, tune off for 1 minute.
Earmuffs,
bro. That was the first time I had
Like,
you know what I'm talking about, SEX.
I don't know how to spell,
Okay,
but I can see.
you can tell by my eye, right? That was freshman year.
Okay.
So I thought
Like,
I got a little bit too cocky, like, oh, okay, freshman year, I'm already put like this is gonna be easy. I ended up breaking up with her sophomore year because I was just like, I you know, I mean,
spread my wings and fly.
you can't keep me down, right? I need to,
Yeah.
I need to be out here banging everything,
The eagle's gonna soar,
everything that
right?
moves. You know what I mean? Like, you know, hey, if you're a lion, you can't throw a bunch of gazelles around him and expect him to not do it. The boy's gonna attack, right?
Yeah, you know what? One of my buddies has a saying: you can't expect you can't surround an eagle with turkeys and expect them to fly, dude. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. So, but guess what? I did not have relations with another chick my whole high school career until after high school. So that just goes how you're telling you, like, you think you're so bad and like, oh, this was easy. Like, you know, I got to shake this chick because I want everyone to experience Filthy P. You know what I mean? I want everyone to get some joy in their life. You know what I mean? And you know what it turned out? The only one that experienced joy was myself. You know what I mean? Nothing. I went completely dry all the way until after high school. But anyways, yeah, that's something else. Let's move on. Okay, next.
That's a weird confidence, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
It's when you're in the moment, like,
you think you're like, it's like a false sense of.
I mean, there's some guys that do have that where it's like they just ladies man and they just knock them down. But I mean, I thought I did, but then it's like reality kicked in. Like, nah, dog, I'm not trying to hang out with you. Like, oh, okay. Well, let me see.
I didn't want you. I didn't want you anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, yeah.
All right, next question. Have you ever gotten back together with an ex? And if you did, how did that go? And I'll before you even go, I'm going to say I haven't ever. So this one's on you. If you have, I never have.
I don't even know what you're talking about. No, you know what? I have. It's pretty well documented with Cass's mom.
Was it like
we
a
tried
back and forth kind of thing?
Back and forth, and you know, it's a certain kind of toxicity, I guess, on both ends.
But see but that's kind of different because you probably want to, you know, that's like the mom of one of your, you know, you kind of want to make, you know what I mean? So that's kind of different than just a random chick where you're going back and like, I get, like, you know, you want to get back with, you know, the mother
I think
child.
I think with me, it was more of like being there for Cass. I mean, obviously there was something there at one point with her mom and everything, but I think ultimately it was like, especially because I think during that time I had dated a couple girls that had kids, and some of them were like, "Well, what do you see coming from this?" And I was kind of like, there was a part of me that was kind of like, you know what? I don't see myself spending more time with a kid that isn't mine than spending.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't tell them that, but I mean, those were the conversations I had in my head, and I'm like, you know.
Yeah.
And then yeah.
See, I think that if you say that, you kind of come off as a dick.
Like, well, yeah, that's a total.
But why is that? Like, that should be you know, like, you know what you want, and you know, if like, hey, like, if you have other kids, you know, it's just, I'm not gonna be, you know, I'm just like, I could never just jump in and be, oh, I'm the new, you know, stepdad, and I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I think,
but that's a bad look though if you say that.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. And I mean, in my opinion, it's like at the time, it's like I can't. I felt really bad feeling that way, especially because
right. Like a little guilty.
When I was trying to find somebody, I expected them to kind of accept Cass, even if they had or didn't have kids. So it's like kind of like hypocritical, I guess, where I'm like, well, yeah, I wouldn't do it.
100%.
Yeah,
why wouldn't you do it? But you expect somebody else to do it.
I mean, like I said, those are things that when you're going through it, you don't really. I think I would talk to myself and I would like justify it, like, well, you know what, like, yeah, that makes sense to me. And then you go out and you're hopeful, and sometimes you run across, and then you come across, you meet people, and that's one of the things about dating is that you get to meet, and you get to know people.
Yeah, honestly, isn't that cool? Like, isn't it like cool dating?
I mean, it's been a long time, but yeah, I mean, I remember enjoying it, but I also remember it's kind of stressful.
Yeah,
the act of going out to picking up on girls and stuff. It's not easy.
I mean, definitely not.
It's not for me.
do you think if we talk to Des and Lori and we ask if they're cool, for the podcast, because I think they're both devoted to it as well, if they would be cool with me and you kind of getting back in them streets just to go test it out, see how it is out there so that we can report back. Do you think they would have a problem with that?
A weekend in Vegas without phones?
Yeah, just, you know what I mean? And we won't cross that line, but, we'll get pretty damn close.
Tap there. I can tell you I can tell you on my end, I'm not packing my bags anytime soon.
But you know what though? Honestly, I wouldn't want, like how you were saying, that's just hard. Like, I can't even imagine right now trying to be single. I mean, my kids are old, so say me and Des didn't work out. Like, I would probably get back out there, but it just wouldn't be the same. You know what I mean? Like, it just wouldn't. I don't know. Like, I'm good. I'm content with where I'm at. Like, I wouldn't want to be trying to be in a bar. Or like, where do you, farmers only? I don't like. Where do you go nowadays? Like, I don't know where to go and
Christian mingle, dog. What do you mean?
Christian mingle, like, you know what I mean? So that's kind of something I wouldn't want to. That's like stressful, like how you were saying, anxiety. Like, I wouldn't want to try to.
Yeah, me personally, like I have buddies at work. I have other people that I know that are single, and especially like when you talk to the youngsters, they tell you stories and they're like, I met this girl on this app, or we met up and she looked different, and or they don't tell you certain things, or they find out certain things because they're they Google your name and they know stuff about you before you even tell them.
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
Yeah, it's like stressful, dude. Like it's too much.
It's too much. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm old school.
Next question. All right, we're gonna jump right into it. What's your biggest heartbreak? And what healed it, or are you not healed?
I'm not gonna label it biggest because that kind of gives it rank over other heartbreaks. So I'm just gonna say heartbreak.
Bro, how many heartbreaks have you been through?
I've been through a lot, bros.
Are you serious?
I mean, I don't know about a lot, but I've been through more than one for sure.
Okay.
But I
guess which one hit the hardest? I guess which one affected you the most? Where you actually saw like I'm messed up. Like I'm a little.
Probably the first one.
Okay.
The first one I think hit hardest because it was the first. Actually, no, it was the second. The first one was in 4th grade. But that one was just kind of, I was like...
4th grade? You're already crying in 4th grade over chicks?
No, I wasn't crying, fool. Calm down. I was pissed. I was angry and I was disappointed. But I think that one hurt just because it was like, oh, man, I didn't know what it was. And I think at the time it was like when I got dumped in school, right? I came home and I was like, you know what, man? I don't want her, whatever. She's dumb. And then when I came home...
Who did you talk to?
I talked to anybody. By myself. I dealt with this by myself.
That's a problem.
And then the actual one as an adult, I mean, that one, like, completely changed everything, dude. I remember because we actually caught her at City Walk, dude, with some dude. But, I mean...
while you were together?
Yeah, bro. But see, you know what? Yeah, we were together, but we weren't. So it had ended maybe like a month before, right? Like
everybody went to City Walk. If you want to catch somebody and doing something, they should go to City Walk or Saddle Ranch. They're gonna find them.
But
what?
Yeah, so we were already kind of done, and basically the relationship was it's in the toilet, bro. It's just circling. You just hasn't gone down the toilet, right? So then. One of my homeboys had passed away, and I reconnected with another homie, and we were hanging out, and we went to City Walk, and she was there, dude, with some dude, and we're literally walking through City Walk, and I see her, I was like, what the heck? And I went, I confronted her, and
no,
yeah, dude,
you made a whole scene.
No, I confronted her. I didn't like get crazy all trying to fight.
What did the dude? I mean, the dude's right there though. He didn't.
No, the homeboy he was looking at me, and then I had my 2 other homies, so it's like,
oh,
what you gonna do, right?
With him. Okay.
So I wasn't talking to him. I was talking to her, and I think I just I even I tried to be cool about it, do like some movie stuff. And I think I told her like, oh, this is like you're granted your whatever your escape or something.
I thought you were gonna say that. I thought you were gonna say like that Casablanca, like freaking my dear, I don't give it. I was like, damn, you get real like that.
No. I tried to say something clever, it didn't come out.
But were you heartbroken seeing that?
I was. You know what? I was heartbroken because of the way I found out. but I wasn't because I kind of already knew. Like I said, we had been going through some stuff, and
Right, right, right.
we weren't really talking, and we just had never officially ended it. But when that happened, I was like, you know what? And then after that, it was like a rebirth, dude. I remember like I had been stuck in a really bad place with her, and she was very controlling and very manipulating, and all kinds of.
Those are the best ones, though.
Those are not the best one.
I like a little toxica, bro.
Yeah, bro. No, it's insane. Like looking back after, I would like always like, damn, dude. Like, thankfully we didn't have any kids. Thankfully it didn't get more serious. But I remember thinking like this is insane. It went from heartbreak to like relief, and I remember
Really?
remember after that, I started going out. I started hanging out with my homies that I had lost contact from high school, and like it was kind of like you start over. And
Yeah, you have to.
the one thing that I will say is that it kind of turned me kind of like a little bit more of an a-hole, dude. Like I wasn't I was kind of a nice guy.
It roughened
Like,
you up. Yeah.
yeah, and I got kind of punked, and I was like, you know what, man, like that got me nothing, dude. Like no respect and no, whatever.
How did she look?
As far as look wise, I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't really know how to describe her. They used to say that she looked like Princess Jasmine from yeah.
Oh, you got
But
to.
then by the time we were broken up, maybe when we first started dating, but
You still have her IG or what? I can check it out.
hell no,
Oh, okay, all right. Hey, sorry.
hell no. You can
Sorry.
I'll give you her name after.
Okay.
Like you can Google her.
No. Hey, don't get me in trouble. Don't get me in trouble. Okay. So how long did that take? Because you said you switched to where like, okay, now I'm gonna be the dick now. How long did it take before you were like truly over her? Do you think?
I think right then and there, bro.
Oh, so
Yeah,
that
right
was
then and
enough.
there, like I said.
And see, and that's what I always say, bro. Because I told you, I mean, I don't want to be the jerk off. But I said I've never really had my heart broken. I think maybe one time, but like Desiree could probably break my heart but you know what that would be is me. Yeah, like all of a sudden maybe whatever, I see her, she's on a date or something, that would crush me. But you know what it would also do is the way I am, it would break my heart, but it would also be like, that's cool, I'm done. Like I'm like that.
Yeah.
I can just be like, I can shut it off. Doesn't mean I won't be sad. I won't, but I can 100% just like, oh wow, okay, well fuck her, I'm done. You know what I mean? Or sorry, mom, F her. But it doesn't mean I wouldn't be heartbroken. But
Yeah.
I can turn it off. Like, okay, that's done. Like once I see somebody with some like, okay, that's a wrap. I'm not like those type that like try to get them back and like, if you didn't choose me, why the hell am I gonna go and try and like beg for you to come back? You made your choice. That's good. If I wasn't the number one overall pick, I don't want to be drafted.
You know what? It's crazy because like I said, the relationship had ended in my eyes a while before, and you start realizing certain things. And I think, like I said, once I saw her with some other dude, I was kind of like, dude, like she's already moved on,
Right.
right? Like I have no rank, I'm no priority for this girl. Like, peace out. And like I'm like that. If you confirm it for me,
Right.
yeah, I'm out. That's all I need.
Right. Did you go right immediately to Saddle Ranch to try to bang everything in there?
Nah. I think I went to like Deja Vu or something.
Oh, you took it real.
I wasn't ready to get out like that yet. I mean,
Okay,
I was, I think, obviously physically, emotionally. Nah, I was like, nah, I gotta, I just want to like,
I gotta get my shit straight.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. So this one, I don't know when your last. So I'm assuming your relationship before Laura. This question is, what did your last relationship? Oh, no, scratch that. One more before. When there is a breakup, how you were saying, does there always have to be a winner and a loser? Do you think?
I think in reality, yes. I think in like fictional, or like if you're talking Hollywood, like where there's like, oh yeah, we're still friends and we're exes, and
Right.
like I don't really see that. As far as in reality, I don't think I really know anybody who's like, oh yeah, I'm still 100% cool with my ex. I mean, is it possible? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. But as far as for me, like I also have this thing where I don't know if we covered this before. I've talked to you where I've told you that I feel that in every relationship you have somebody that cares a little bit less,
Yeah, you
a
did
little
say
bit
that.
more.
Yeah.
So I've told the kids that I'm like, at a certain point, that comes out, and whatever end you're on, if you're the one that cares less, I think you're a little bit
Damn.
headstrong. But if you're the one
Okay.
that cares more, that's where hopefully your heart's in the right place. Because
But if you care more, if so, okay, so say how you said you told your kids, and so if they are in a relationship and they look and like, oh shit, guess what? Like I see what he's saying. I'm the one that cares more. Should they get out of it? Because why would you want to be with
yeah,
someone
because
that doesn't care as much as you? You know what I mean?
because if the other person doesn't care as much as you, they're more likely to break your heart because you care more than they do.
Real talk. So this is again like me and my current relationship with Dirty D. I feel like when we first got together, I feel like she cared more because I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And she was like always coming to visit. Like she would drive down here every other weekend. I'm kind of like, I just like, all right, it's cool, whatever. But I think it has slowly grown to be equal. You know what I mean? Like I think now we both kind of
But
are
see,
at the same level, but I think it started with her a little bit more,
I don't
and now it's grown equal. I think that's what I feel.
I don't know if that's the same kind of like caring that I think. I think that's being more invested, where maybe she's doing like a little bit more to make it work.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When I say caring, it's like about feelings, bro. Like I don't give a crap about your feelings, or I really like care more than you do because I really care about your feelings, and that's where I think the balance is. When you find out where you're at, and I mean, I think for the majority of relationships, they're like this. They're going at the same spot, but at a certain point, when things start going, but not because like I said, that relationship that I told you about, I knew stuff was bad.
Okay.
This was back in the old pager days. This is back in the old voice.
Oh yeah.
So
You were paging
I
her.
knew, yeah, I knew stuff.
Hello, or
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heart you and it.
oops. No, but I knew stuff was bad,
Right.
right? But then it's like 2020 hindsight, bro. When I fast forward 5 years after that, and I'm looking back on this relationship, and all the signs were there, bro. The family was all messed up. The mom was messed up.
That's a big telltale.
She had no dad.
Telltale sign.
Yeah, she had no dad. The mom was all jacked up. Had 3 kids from 3 different guys. The sister, the brother-in-law, they were all messed up. The brother, everybody had problems.
You're right.
And it was like I remember now that I'm looking back, like I would go into that household, like I always thought that was normal. I just thought, they're going through a lot of weird stuff. But then when you look back, it's like, dude, they were all messed up.
They were messed up. Yeah.
Yeah. So at a certain point, like she just stopped caring. Like I would was like, dude, I don't want to be with this guy. Like and instead of being like, hey, let's talk and split up and cut ties, which at the time I think I would have been receptive to it. Like, oh yeah, for sure. But like that's what I think is caring. Like I think investment in being invested in like the relationship is different. Like because I think like maybe she probably noticed like, dude, I'm gonna make this work because I like this guy, right? Like I'm gonna go down there, and I think that's different. I don't think that you didn't care as much. I just think that she had more like I want to make it work a little bit more than you were. Like that's what I think.
I have a question, and it might come off as creepy.
Like
have you ever, or would you ever be in a relationship and physically it's just like, damn, it's like
there's something there?
Nothing you've ever experienced like that before physically.
But
it's just not a good fit. Like, that's not going to be the mother of your kids. It's not going to be, whatever. But damn, the shit they do under covers. Like it's crazy. Have you ever been in a relationship where you're like, I know this isn't good. I know it's not going anywhere. I mean, I hope I don't, knock her up or anything, but damn, I'm going to keep this going as long as I can because physically it's crazy. Like I know that's bad. I know that's bad, but have you ever been there?
I don't I don't know. No, not where it's to that point where like I think I haven't been in that many relationships, but I think the ones I have been in, I think the goal was to go long term. Like we, I would, like I
So
said, I think,
that's always been
yeah,
in
it's
your
kind of like, yeah,
vision or whatever. You always have wanted like,
yeah.
if I'm
Well,
gonna date a girl, I want this. I'm looking for whatever my soulmate
yeah.
or whatever.
If
Okay.
it goes past if it goes past a certain timeline, right? Like where let's say you're like you've been dating for 2 3 months. Obviously, you know there's something there that you like.
Yeah, yeah.
And also the thing with me, bro, is you gotta remember I had cats when I was 22. So most of my adult relationships have been with a child in the back in the background or in the forefront, whichever way you want to look at it. I'm kind of like I said, I was basically like taking it like we out day at a time. And if it went to more than a month, if it went to 2 months, okay, cool. But then it's like you have to like I was like more about cash before ending.
That's
Like,
good.
do I
That's
want to
good.
bring this person around my daughter?
Yeah.
You know?
Did you ever notice, or did you ever talk to a chick, or you're kind of get with a chick, and that came into, that came into the whatever into the equation that you had a kid, and they were like, I'm not really feeling that. Did that ever? Did ever
Yeah,
you being a young father affect you trying to date somebody? Like, were they physically, or they were like, no, you know what? Like, you already have a kid. I'm not looking to be a stepmom, or
I don't. I think it's maybe once or twice, but I don't think it was the kid. I think it was the fact that there's a baby mom. And at the time, like I said, I was in my early 20s, maybe 24, 25. I would like that. You have, I think you have a different mentality, the way you carry yourself. Like I was very immature, so I'm sure they picked up on that. Just the fact that back then, I mean, dude, the baby mama was just drama 24/7.
was it?
So yeah, so if they, it's like they can kind of sense it, they can kind of get the vibe or whatever. Like I would
What?
think it was more like that.
Why didn't you use the 100% secure pullout method?
What the heck is a pull-out method? What do you mean?
I
We
mean,
can't backtrack now, fool.
I'd say because you were 22. Like, how come you weren't pulling out? I mean, what?
It was like the leaving
Or were you,
method.
or were you trying to have a kid?
No,
Oh, stop.
I
Were
told
you?
you. I told you ever since I was a little kid, I never ever dreamt of having kids. I never looked forward to it. It wasn't like I wasn't on my agenda. I didn't want
Really?
to have kids. Yeah, I wasn't like I just kind of assumed it would happen. But I never said, "Oh man, I can't wait to have kids," or "I can't wait to have a wife."
But I
That
mean, if you're out there throwing loads around, yeah, and you're an Aguilar, those loads are loaded. You know
they're
what I mean?
pumped,
Like,
bro.
yeah, like what did you think was gonna happen?
They're called latex burners.
Yeah, you didn't think that she was gonna get knocked up, or you just
No. I mean, like I said, there was always a possibility. Obviously, thought like I would. I mean, bro, you have to ask 22-year-old me, dude. I couldn't answer for that guy. I wasn't exist anymore.
true, 100%. Okay. Hey, what did your last relationship? So I'm assuming this is the relationship before Lori.
I
Was
would.
that the cast mom? I don't know.
No, no.
What did that teach you about yourself? Was there a relationship that did it teach you anything?
You know what I would biggest thing that every relationship has taught me is that you have to be yourself. You have to be yourself 100%. If they're gonna accept you for you the way you are, they're gonna accept you for that. But I think the biggest is as far as and being in a relationship is that you can't keep anybody from doing anything that they want to do. Right? I'm not talking about goals to keep them out of school, don't have them apply for a job. I'm talking about in general, like if you're worried that they're gonna cheat on you or you're worried that they're gonna find somebody else, like if they want to do it, they're gonna do it. There's nothing on this planet I can do. I can say that you can whatever threaten none of that. So once I learned that, it just made it like easier, bro. Like relationships to me after that, after I realized that, just became easier. Like that's why I think I was able to walk away. Like I'm talking about like a relationship maybe 2 3 weeks, and I'm like, you know what, we only hung out like 2 3 times. I was gonna be more, but no, I'm cool. It's all good. Oh yeah, no problem. And then to like now, where like even when I like started dating Laura, I was like she came into my life at a point where I really needed like structure from her. At first, I was very, very open to going out, bars and whatever, and we would go out. And I never really went out like that with a female. So we did a lot, like when we started out. But I never like said, "Oh, let me check your phone," or I need this. Like, nah, dude. Like, if you're gonna do something, I can't stop you.
Right. You're already
Right?
a
Like,
little bit. You're
yeah.
already a little bit more mature.
So it definitely takes away a lot of stress from our relationship. That to me, it's like if you're stressing about that, bro, like there's other stuff going on. You know what I mean?
And
Like
see, I was kind of the same. I feel like I was insecure too. Like when I was young, I was the same exactly. Like, oh, they don't. Like hey, I want to come hang out. No, I got other. Like, oh, okay, they want to be with somebody else, or they're. Da, da, da. I was real insecure too, and I feel like that. Like each relationship has happened, it's gone away more and more. But I didn't look at like how you were saying earlier. You looked at relationship as like you want to be with someone for. I didn't really look at that. Like back when I was in my 20s or whatever. Like I wasn't looking at like, oh, is this gonna be my wife? What kind of mother is she gonna be? Like I didn't. It was just kind of like, oh, this chick's cool, whatever. She has a nice act, it's a good whatever. Oh, sorry, but like I wasn't looking at like, oh, could this be the mother? That was like the furthest thing from my mind until I eventually did. Of my kid's mom. I don't want to say knocked her up, but we were just dating. At that time, even with her, I don't want to be the biggest of all time, but at that time I was dating like 4 chicks, maybe 3. I'm trying to think, but it was just like I wouldn't even say dating. We're just like these were like that was like the rotation. It was cool, whatever. But she put in the most like effort, and I kind of like that. It was like I remember me and my buddy used to go to Costa Rica, and we were out there trying to do dirt, But she would be like, "Oh, I'll pick you up from the airport." I was like, "Oh, damn, this is like, that's a cool chick," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it wasn't until after already I had kids and all that, and then divorce, and then now dating. Like, okay, now I'm like, I'm not just looking for the hottest chick, the easiest, the best. Like, I'm actually looking for someone that I can spend the rest of my life with. But that did not happen until way later. And honestly, like, I got lucky with Desiree, like, because I still think about that all the time. Like, we just met on a cruise the last night. It was Sunday, like at midnight. So, the cruise is about to end. I'm out there just like scout, I'm fishing, bro. I got the lure out there, but there's no bites. It's 12 o'clock. It's Sunday night. I was like saying it. Okay, well, you know what? Hey, accept it as it is. Like you can't bat 1,000. You can't bang every crew, all right. So I didn't pull nothing. And I remember just sitting on the bar and I turned around and she comes, waddling in because she's, 4 foot nothing. And I'm like, I remember just like smiling at her. She smiled back and I just saw that instant, like, oh, okay, I gotta, let me start rapping. And as soon as she walked up, like, hey, what's up? How's you enjoying your crew? And I could just tell she was 100% in. But like even her, once I started dating, it was just like, oh, this chick is dope. Yeah, she's got a lot of kids too. I got kids, so who am I to, but it wasn't until we were like fully like kind of in a relationship that I was like, you know what? This is exactly what I want, like for the rest of my life. Like these are all the, attributes or whatever of a woman that I want. And that's what kind of snapped me out of, because before then it was just kind of like, let me go on a cruise, let me just try to bang everything that moves. And she was the first one that like, oh, you know what? Like I start looking ahead at not necessarily just what you want right now, but like what's best for you for the future. And so for me, yeah, the end result, the end game, bro, Avengers Endgame.
Like somebody want to sit in a rocking chair with that in the front porch, just chill.
Yeah, exactly. But like when you're young, you don't realize that, and you're young, you're trying to find the hottest chick and da da da. Then as you get older, it's like, you know what? I want to be with someone that I'm content with, that fits perfect. So for you, like you already had a kid, a daughter, Laura fit perfect. Like, I mean, luckily for me, Desiree already had kids too, but who knows if she didn't have kids and we met younger, would she have been okay? I had 3 kids, that's a lot of like and especially when they're young, but like in the end, it worked out perfect for us. It worked out perfect for you because, like I haven't been around too much, but from what I've seen, like Cass with Lori, like it seems like a great relationship. Like they seem like mother daughter. You know what I mean? They're having a great relationship. So you found the kind of the one for you. and I found the one for me. But you're right, it's kind of all also about like timing, like, you know what I mean? When is that right time? Because maybe a couple years before I wouldn't have been ready, or maybe even later, who knows? I maybe would have been like, oh, I'm good being by myself, because I actually enjoy being by myself. You know what I mean? But that gets a little old and creepy, and you're out here trying to,
Do you think you matured later than normal, or I mean, because I know I did for sure.
Yeah. Well, and I call that like, I don't want to know if I want to call it an Aguilar curse, but a curse of just being a full red-blooded male. You know what I mean? Like I tell my buddies all, like, hey, I was a hunter, bro. Like I'm not here to be back at home camp, making planting stuff. Like I'm out here trying to hunt. So, and maybe it was the way I got brought up too, like hanging out with all of my boy cousins, and everything was just all like, oh yeah, we got to bang chicks. You got to do this. Like, well, I used to hang out with Davey and Johnny when I was in my 20s, and I was working in Pacoima, and they were right there in somewhere. I'd go every Friday after work. I'd go there, and I'd spend the whole weekend there and go up. And our whole purpose was just to be out in the bars trying to, and I definitely wasn't looking for I didn't give a shit if it was going to be a possible girlfriend. I was just trying to, hey, kids turn off, but I was just trying to, I was just trying to run up numbers. And now I look back, I'm like, yeah, I mean, like I'm not like embarrassed or like, oh, that was bad, because it was like, that was my age. I wouldn't have been able to settle down, like some people get married at 20. I wouldn't have been able to do that. It would have ended up really bad. Yeah. So I'm kind of glad I got that out of my system, but right now, I mean, I'm content. I mean, I think, and it seems like I can tell, from just me talking to you, you're content, so like we both ended up where we were kind of supposed to be.
Destined to be.
Right. So, all right. Next question. Have you ever realized you were the toxic one and maybe not your person you broke up with?
I think everybody has a little bit of toxicity, right? I think the problem with my toxicity is that it's very passive. I think that's my toxic trait, is that I'm very passive.
What do you mean, like passive aggressive? I don't even know.
No, just passive in general. And maybe I don't speak up, or maybe I let shit slide when I shouldn't. And I'm basically like an enabler of the toxicity of the other person. And that's something that I've never really thought about until recently. I was like, maybe that's the problem, is that I kind of put up with a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have, or that maybe other people wouldn't have. And by doing that, I enabled it to keep going. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I think in some, I don't think I've ever really been the most toxic, but I do know that I do have a lot of toxic traits. Okay. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more.
Do you have jealousy?
Nah, not really.
So what?
I used to.
What if Laura comes home tomorrow and she's like, oh, I have this new guy at work that, yeah, he's having, like, oh, he's so funny, he's all this. You're just like, oh, cool, all right. Or if you like, hey, who's this?
You just right now you just hit that.
Oh no, is it
really
funny?
Is it really? If she comes over and he's like, he's really funny. Oh hell no, that's it. Yeah,
because that's your thing. Because you're the funniest.
Bro, come on, she don't even say that about me.
Yeah.
Now she's like, oh, that was really funny. Oh god damn, I'm gonna go.
So you're gonna go. Right, you go find him. You'll go find him. So that's good though. But honestly, I feel like that's good for
passion.
Like I feel like a girl, if you're not like that, they're kind of like, oh, my dude's kind of, like my dude's kind of gay. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's good that you have a little like, hey, that's my chick, bro.
Like I said,
I don't want you talking to her. I don't want you looking at her. Like that's my property, which is effed up. But
yeah, no, if she comes home and she's like, there's this new guy and he's handsome and he's whatever. Like
he's buff.
But if she's like, he's funny, then oh man.
So that's the thing, because it's like that's your MO. You're like, hey, there's only one comedian in this.
Yeah, because like I said, I don't even think she's ever told anybody that she thinks I'm funny.
Do you think she doesn't think you're funny, or she doesn't want to admit it? Because I feel like that's what Desiree. I feel like that's what Desiree does to me. I make her crack up nonstop, but then I'm like, I'm like, I'm funny, right? And then she'll be like, I don't know. And I'm like, I crack you up. I crack you exactly. I crack you up nonstop. Why won't you just give me that? Like, just let me have that. But she won't do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, okay, obviously for sure.
Do your kids think you're funny? Do your kids think you're funny?
Yeah, they think I'm hilarious, bro. Everybody in this house.
Okay.
It's 4 out of 5 in this house think I'm funny. But you know what? Like I will say this. Like I do value her as my wife, and I don't. But I will fight for her. Like I do have a passion, like, to keep her. But yeah, like I said, that's the number one thing. If she were to say this motherfucker's funnier than you, or
that's a hard. That's a straight dagger.
I call Steve Gershman my attorney.
Gershowitz, yeah.
But you know, yeah. So if like I said, there's a lot of things. I'm not jealous. Like, she has male coworkers. She's got friends that are males and from back in the day. And I've met most of them.
Cool with that?
Yeah. Like like I told you, bro. What am I gonna do? Like what am I gonna do? I can't do. And if she wants to do it, she's gonna do it, bro.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, she does seem like a pretty, like, loyal one. You know what I mean? I can tell she's cool. She's loyal. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. I think, like I told you, bro. Once I realized that, the relationships are a lot less stressful because I don't need to worry about it, dude. Like, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it.
Okay. How about this though? If she does do it, how heartbroken will you be?
Oh, I'll be devastated.
Or will you be back?
I'll be devastated. That'll probably be the worst one because I have the kids with her.
Right.
We have a house. The changes that would happen because of that, and not only that, but like I said, like I have full faith in her. I have full trust. I don't think I don't need to worry about anything. So I think that's what hurts more because there's somewhere I was like, you know what, like I kind of knew it because, you know, the way they were, or I kind of figured that they would do this and whatever, where you cut it out before. But with this one, I'm like, damn. Especially if he's like a comedian, bro. Like
exactly. Especially she starts dating Theo Vaughn or one of these funny dudes. Hey, bro, can I pause for like 2 minutes to go run to the bathroom real quick?
Handle it.
All right, brother. I'm back.
Hey, you look lighter.
Yeah, that's the only problem with drinking is, like, I got like one drink and I gotta.
Yeah, the problem with drinking is you're only renting it, bro.
All right. Next question. And for me, oh no, I do have an answer to this. What's the most unhinged thing you've ever texted or said to an ex?
Unhinged.
If you want, I'll start because I got one already queued up.
It's still in your draft and your notes on your phone.
No, pure off the dome.
Nice.
When I went to college, because I didn't go right out of high school, so I went to like a junior college. I met a chick. I was dating a chick that I met at the movies. I don't think she subscribes, but so I met her. So we were dating, right? So when I went to college, we had been in probably like a 2-year relationship. But bro, I'm going to college to San Diego State, white girl heaven. You know, come on. I'm gonna be in the mix. Or I'm an Aguilar, right? We don't look for trouble. Trouble finds us.
Yeah, you're trapping a steak around a bunch of hungry lions, bro.
Exactly. So I know it's gonna be trouble. But so anyway, so we dated that first year. Actually, the first year wasn't good because I hooked up with a couple of chicks, but I don't even know if we broke up or we were still together, whatever. I came back. We were kind of off and on, whatever. But then when I went back for my second year, I don't remember what the whole circumstance was, but I know we were in my apartment, and this was back, no cell phones, so you had to use your home phone. And I was talking to her, and I don't know what happened, but we both kind of started like going at each other. And the only thing I regret is that because my buddies were in the apartment too, so they heard, and they're like, oh, so I started like playing it up for them, talking to her. You know how many chicks I've been with, that, you know, just basically being a complete dick. But what she said hit me hard. I did not expect it, but she was like, well, you know what? I mean, that's fine, because she's like, because I used to go back every other weekend because I was in San Diego. So every other weekend I go home and I would hang out with her, and she was like, she told me that the weekends I didn't go home, she was hooking up with some other guy that she had met. And I remember that I was just like, it caught me so off guard because she was like one of the nicest girls. But of course, I'm being a dick in front of my buddies, trying to act like I'm so cool, like, But when she hit me with that, I remember it was just like a dagger to the heart, and I still don't know to this day if it's true, which I think it probably was. I think it probably was because she knew I was I was doing dirt. We weren't even really like together, but that was one of my biggest regrets is that like I let me trying to be cool in front of my friends and talking to her, and she really was a dope ass chick I was with for a couple years, and that's one of my biggest regrets is that it ended that like I don't think we talked about that. It was over a phone call and we're both talking to each other because we're both trying to, I don't know, but that was one of my biggest regrets because she didn't deserve that. She was a really cool girlfriend, cool chick. The fact that she, knew I was going to college and she just kind of like still hung around and, that's one of my biggest regrets is being like, I just felt bad.
You broke her heart.
I don't even think I broke her heart because it was it was over like a whole year of like, and that was just the peak. But that wasn't cool. She didn't deserve that. And she didn't deserve that. And me trying to be macho in front of my friends, talking shit. Like, yeah. To this day, I still look back at that and like, I wish I could talk. I mean, she's already married with other, kids and all that. So whatever. But I still wish I could kind of go back and like, hey, I'm sorry about it. That was a dick.
Why did you just donate to a charity under her name or something?
Go buy a star or whatever.
Yeah, buy a consolation for her.
But that's my one. And it was just young and dumb, stupid.
You know what? I don't think I've ever done anything like that. I don't think I've ever.
No, like big blow up or just like maybe said some things you kind of regret later. Like fuck, I shouldn't have said that.
Nah, you know what? I don't think so because, like I said, my anxiety would just cause me to like everything's a catastrophe. So I was more like in the long run, like I was also maybe kind of scared of like my windows on my car broken or something. You know what I mean? So I was very like I'm not gonna say this because I'm not, and I've also I think I've kind of always kind of try to be the bigger person. Where it's like if you're, obviously if we're at this point where we're arguing or we're breaking up or whatever. Let me walk away. Let me just, we'll leave it at that. Like also, I won't take anything. If you have anything that's mine, throw it away. I don't want it. I think I've always just kind of been like that. So I don't think
that's mature, bro. Honestly, that's real mature. You know what I mean? Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of feel bad. Like I don't have any stories to share with you.
That's good. That's good. Hey, you not having a story is good. You know what I mean? You did. That means you haven't maybe done anybody as dirty.
Yeah.
What about a red flag that you ignored? Were you ever in a relationship that you saw a red flag, but maybe didn't realize it, and then later like, oh, that was like now you would. Now you're in a relationship, but you would catch it later on.
Like when I told you the one with the whole family was messed up.
Okay, that's a hardcore red flag.
Red flags all over that place, bro. Yeah. Like the mom would badmouth all the dads, because they're all different dads. She would badmouth all of them because none of them were around.
Not one guy.
Not one was around for them, dude.
Like not one got a little bit of praise. No,
nothing.
They all got shot.
Nothing. Like I remember. You know what's funny is that she didn't like me at first. She was very, very.
The mom.
The mom hated me at first. And then like I kind of grew on her because like I said, I've always been kind of polite, kind of.
Yeah. You got some manner. You got some manner.
Yeah. Like a gentleman, bro. You know.
Yeah. Gentleman's hour.
And then the sister, like the brother-in-law, they were messed up. The kids were messed up. The other brother, he was messed up. I think he the girl I was dating, like she stabbed him. Like what kinds of stuff, bro? Yeah.
So
just that whole house was a red flag.
Yeah.
And like I said, at the time, I don't think I I don't think it factored in. I don't think I said, you know what, this isn't normal. I think I just thought like, hey, they're not like the way I came up, and
Right.
you know, like I said, at that point,
Might just be,
all,
yeah.
all the hood stuff was cool to me because I was in the hood.
Yeah, yeah.
I was in the hood. I was young, dumb. I didn't know any better.
You know what though?
But
I feel like the same too, because even back then I wouldn't have noticed kind of the stuff that now, but now it's already too late, you know. But say again, shout out to Dirty D, but God forbid anything happened to her and I had to be out in the mix again. You know, the same things that were red flags back then maybe wouldn't be now, you know, because now there's all the kids are adults. I'm just looking for a companion, you know, and which I found with Des. Like that's what I liked about her. We could travel together. We were both low key. There was no drama. So yeah, I see that as you get older, a lot of the drama is like from having kids and you having it, you know, like you were saying, it's not your kid, but yet you're with the girl, so it's like you kind of have to, especially when they're young, you know. Nowadays, yeah, all the kids are, you know, well, you still got young ones, but mine are all pretty much old. So if I were say trying to look for a relationship now, it wouldn't be the same as when I was trying to look for a relationship with Desiree, where you know, kids are young, and that's my priority, not necessarily me trying to bang and go out to eat and do all the trips and all that. You know, that's my priority. But you know, if it were to happen now, yeah, my priority would be trips and, you know, but
yeah, you ain't trying to watch
luckily
Saturday morning.
Exactly. And luckily I found a good, you know, partner that we're on the same
vision, bro. Same vision.
Exactly. Yeah. Same vision. How do you know when you're really over someone?
I mean, for me, like I said, most of them have just been as soon as it ended. I don't think I've dwelled on any. Probably the only one, maybe Cass's mom, because we went back and forth. So I don't think I had that time. I just think when you just if you see them, okay, there's two ways. If you see them or you hear whatever that they're doing good and you kind of wish them well,
then you're over them. Yeah.
Then you're over them. Yeah. Because I don't think I would. Like for the worst relationship that I've ever been in, I don't wish them bad. You know what I mean? I don't benefit from anybody doing bad.
Exactly.
So I think that's kind of where you're when you have that, like, hey, more power to them. Let them get the money or whatever it is they're doing. More power to them.
Yeah. And I agree. You know, I told you, I don't know if I had my heart broken at that. So this was.
Stop trying to join the club, bro.
This was after college. So I was dating someone, and like when it ended because like I was just kind of like whatever. Like I didn't treat it like a good, like I wasn't a good boyfriend. I wasn't a good anything, right? You know, it was just kind of like it is what it was. She was younger, so I think she just kind of hung around just cause. This is when I was in San Diego, and I'm like, well, I'm going back. You know, I'm going back home. And that's where she was from too, but she wasn't coming either. She was like, well, I'm going to stay out here. And I was cool. Like, all right. You know, like we kind of weren't even, I was already, you know,
checked out,
hooking up with other chicks. Like I was already, you know, so I was kind of like, whatever. But then when I went home, she met somebody else. And then I remember that, like, so I remember I was like, I'm going to go back down to San Diego because I want to talk with you. Let's see if we can work this out. Because I was like, oh, shit, I didn't expect her to actually move on with someone. I thought she would just wait for me. Yeah. I thought she would just wait for me till the end of time, right? And I remember going back down, and I could tell, like, just like she was, like, we were hanging out and all that, but, like, I could tell she was already kind of in her head, like, moved on to the other guy. Even though she didn't say it, I could just tell. Like we went out to a bar and we were just, I know, like she just wasn't the same. Like I'm trying to do, you know. Then we got back to the shit. So this is getting R-rated. Oh, we went out. So this was kind of after we both accepted, like, okay, I think this is over. Like, you know, whatever. Let's go out tonight. Let's just go have some drinks, whatever. We were out in San Diego. It's called Hillcrest, like a gay area. That's where my buddy lived. We were staying with him. There was a cool bar over there, and like, let's just go, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like I can tell it's done. I can tell you like, yeah, like let's just go out, let's have some drinks and have a good night and just whatever. We end up having drinks. Some like lesbian chick is trying to hook up with her. I'm trying to hook up with this other chick. It's like this weird ass night, right? And in the end, we end up back at my buddy's place and we're like making out. We're like going hot and heavy, all this. And then right before we're about to like, you know,
Seal the deal.
Seal the deal, she's like, no. She's like, I don't know. I can't. I'm like, what? And that's when it finally hit me like, oh. Like as soon as a chick tells me, like, I'll never be guilty of like that. Because as soon as a chick tells me like, no, I'm like, it turns me on. Like, I'm like,
peace.
And as soon as she was like, no, I don't know if I can do this. I was just like, wow. I was like, okay. I remember I just stopped and like, okay. Like, and that was it. That was the end of it. And I remember like, what's crazy is that like after it hit me, I started getting sad. And I remember it was like, I was honestly depressed for like months because I was just like, that's like, what the, and why am I depressed? Because like, I didn't even really like care. Like I didn't put much effort into that. Like I really should have put more effort. I really did like her. She was dope. She was a cool chick. She was just too kind of young. But I remember realizing like it's over. And once a chick is like tells me they don't want me, I'm done. I'm not trying to text you. I'm not trying to like, can we if you tell me you're choosing somebody else over me or you don't choose, my ego can't take it. I'm
yeah, you're not trying to polish a turd. Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. I'm done. But I remember after that was probably the closest I can imagine to heartbreak because I was pretty kind of depressed. You know what movie I used to watch every night? Take a guess.
Night at the Roxbury.
No. Have you ever seen Swingers?
Swinger, yeah.
With, so the main dude going through the breakup, Vince Vaughn, but Jon Favreau is going through the breakup. Yeah. And so I don't know why, but that movie for some reason comforted me. I had it on DVD. Every night I would go to bed, I put on Swingers. And I don't know why, but just that comforted me. And my whole point in life at that time was to get a girlfriend. I didn't even care about, I was just like, I gotta get a girlfriend. I gotta get a girlfriend. I gotta get a girlfriend. Yeah, so I guess that's my closest to being heartbroken because I really was. I was like,
I mean, you said months, bro.
Yeah. The fact
that's heartbreak.
The fact that she didn't want me, that was what it was. It's like, what? Like you're choosing.
How do you not want all this?
You're choosing somebody else over me? Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to take a walk through the Taj Mahal?
Yeah, that's crazy. So that was my one experience of going through, I'm going to say heartbreak. Because it was like, I wasn't crying every night, but I was just I was depressed and I was just
You're bummed out, bro. Yeah,
I was bummed out. Bummed out.
It's that rejection, bro.
It's a rejection, yeah. You're not, especially when you're not used to it. And then they pull that on you, and you're thinking you're the one. I'm thinking she's younger. I'm the one in control. She moved to San Diego to be with me, and like, okay, I got all the cards. And then they flip on you, and it's like, oh shit, no, like this can have like, yeah. All right. Okay, last question, bro. Last question, and perfect. We're already at over a minute or over an hour. Is heartbreak necessary for personal growth? Or is it just a romanticized pain?
No, for sure. I mean, in my opinion, for sure.
So, like, I think you want your kids to go through this, through heartbreak?
I don't want them to. I'm not a Disney person where I think it's like that fairy tale happily ever after shit. But
right.
I mean, if they find the first person that they love and they stay with them and that person loves them back and they live happily ever after and they have whatever amount of kids they want to have, or they want to not have kids, or they want to travel, or whatever they want to do in life, more power to them. But do I think that's realistic? No. I honestly think that heartbreak is a part of life. Heartbreak is part of life. It's sadness is a part of life. You can't dwell on it because the opposite is love, bro. If you find somebody you love, somebody that loves you back, accepts you for you, you accept them for them. Like you said, like if you and Des can travel, that's something that you guys look forward to, right? Same thing with love, bro. Like love is something that you should look forward to. But do I want them to have heartbreak? I hope not. I hope not. And if it is, I hope they can handle it, and I hope they can bounce back. I mean, if I was able to do it, like I said, I didn't have anybody to talk to. I don't even think I talked to my homies. I think the only ones that know, like my cousin was with me that night, the one you met on Saturday. He was with me at City Walk, so he kind of knows what's up.
Yeah, he's cool, man. I like that dude.
Yeah. So he knows what's up, but. I mean, realistically, some of these stories people haven't heard. You know what I mean? That's like something that I've never talked to anybody. Once it's happened, once I got over it, like I don't really talk about it unless they ask me.
Right.
Then I'll fucking, like, me, bro. If you ask me, I will talk. You're on. I will talk until you tell me to shut up.
Yeah. So, no, that's good though. That's good.
But I do think that like with anything, it makes you stronger. It makes you it also makes you appreciate certain things. And like for me, the first one that turned me into an a-hole, like I knew like I didn't like that feeling, so I wasn't gonna put myself out like that. And maybe it pushed some people away, maybe it didn't, I don't know. But I feel like it was for the better. Every heartbreak I've come out stronger.
Yeah. So like I said, because I've
never experienced.
I haven't yet to experience it, but I break hearts. I think. Actually, I don't even know. Maybe I even don't. I probably in my head I think I do, but I probably even don't. Probably these chicks are like, oh, okay, good. I'm glad I'm done with this fool. But every past relationship I can say has, even like if it wasn't a relationship, just even hookups or whatever, it's like helped me to get me to where I'm in right now and how to, appreciate women more. So like I think, Dirty D is getting the best of me. 100%, because I still say some off the cuff and I still, do something, but she knows deep down, she knows the true me. I'm not, a lot of the shit I do is for show or for jokes or whatever, but I'll stick by her, and I'm about us growing us, you know what I mean? So I think all those past relationships have helped. I do wish I could go back, because I don't know how many relationships I had in the past, but I know most of them, the chicks probably think negatively towards me, like, oh yeah, he was a dick, he was da-da. And I wish I could go back and like explain, yeah, maybe I was a dick, but I was immature, I didn't know what I was doing, and I do appreciate them. I wish I could have ended stuff better. Because when you're young, you're into a chick, and it's da-da, and then after a while, it's just like, okay, da-da, whatever. And then you end up treating them like a jerk. My thing always was, if I wanted to get out of a relationship or a breakup, I would start treating them bad, so they would
end it.
Right.
It's your fault. You dumped me, right? Yeah.
Right. And I used to start treating them bad, and then when they're
playing possum, bro.
Yeah. So I feel bad for that, because a lot of chicks don't deserve that. I wish I would have been more straight up. Young men aren't mature, unfortunately.
Young men, old men, middle-aged men.
Yeah, but we're better though, right? I mean, come on. I've seen you with your kids, with your wife. Like you're not immature. You're not, you're doing things the right way.
Let me tell you this, bro. I'm very. What's the word? I'm very proud of you for realizing that you are a better person than you were.
Oh,
ago.
Yeah. I was a jerk off.
Yeah. No, like you said, I mean, Dez is getting the best Paul there is right now, which is great, right? But I will say, if you want to look at the positive side with the ones that you feel like maybe you did them dirty, just think hopefully you made them stronger, bro.
Yeah.
Hopefully they avoided anybody that gave them similar drop.
Right. And I probably give myself too much credit. Like I'm, really, you know what I mean? Like they probably definitely aren't even thinking about me, but in my own.
But
exactly.
But you never know, bro. Indirectly, they might have said, you know what, this guy did this one thing, and they kept them away from a certain guy, and now maybe they're happily married, bro. That's what I like to think of.
Yeah, I agree. Last question. Do you have a breakup anthem?
Do I have a breakup anthem, like a song?
Because I have one.
I will say this. Sugar Free.
That's what you were saying?
Is my guy, bro. Yo, you know what? This actually goes back to the episode where You asked me about my top 5 artists, and I think I got nervous and I said Mac Dre, but it was sugar free.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Mac Dre. It was sugar free. But
Okay.
you can tap in. There's 2 albums. I think it's the New Testament and maybe Smell My Finger.
Oh,
Those 2 albums, bro,
oh, damn. Okay, all right.
have a lot of songs that you do not skip, but you have to listen to the lyrics. I mean, off the top of my head, I think it's how does it go? I think it's like you broke my heart, and I let you succeed. But to a player, that's an organ that you really don't need, right? So just remember that, like, if you can keep your heart strong, you get through it, bro. As much as you might not think, as much as you might be in the dumps, as many times as you want to play swingers, you're gonna get through it, bro. That's what it is.
Yeah,
you know what
hey,
I mean?
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah, if you come home, go ahead.
Mine is Chris Brown. These hoes ain't loyal. So the only way to make me feel good is to make them like a villain. You know what I mean?
Villainize them.
Exactly, and that's the old me. That's the old me.
But that's the old you that got you to the new you.
Yeah. Hey.
Bro, it ain't easy.
Look at my shirt, bro. Look at my shirt.
Oh, that's America's Princess, bro.
If you're talking Heartbreak, you got to talk Taylor Swift.
America's Princess, Taylor Swift.
All right, brother. Hey, we hit it again, bro. We hit it good. We hit it nice. I don't know what our next subject. You sent me a couple, so I have some written down here. Oh,
what do you think about the friendship one?
That's what I'm saying. That's the next one. Friendships.
Yeah, I like that one.
Having and keeping friends, and actually that's perfect because me and you can do it. And then I'm gonna have on one of my buddy. I have 2 buddies that went to junior high with. Well, one junior high and one high school. So I want to have them on and just like get their like high school. Was I a dick? How much dicks were we were?
You were always crying because your heart was broken.